Hello everyone, and today I will be doing a tutorial on how to make commander decks very easily and quickly. Alright, but first, we're going to need a commander to make a commander deck on. And we got Zurzoth's Chaos Rider. Whenever, you can read the card. Anyways, on to the next step. Before we go any further, we're going to need a place to organize all of our cards. So, let me show you an awesome website that you can go to. That was very good for making commander decks. I personally use it all the time. I just have to search it up here quickly. I have to find the right... Okay, there we go. It's called Top Deck. It's very good and it's free, and you can use it to make your own decks very easily and quickly. What you'll do is you'll go to My Decks and hit Create New. Then your deck is going to need a cool name. I like that one. And then make sure it's the correct format and hit continue. Then you'll see this screen. Alright, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add your commander. And so you put them in like that. And then you're going to want some lands that you can put in the deck. Now, normally I stick to the typical of... stupid mountain... normally I stick to putting 40 lands per commander deck. However, since we're playing mono red and have less, I'm only going to put 35 in. Wow, really cool, am I right? We're going to have to open up a couple windows. First one, we're going to want a window to TCG to check card prices. Next one, we're going to want to open up is Scryfall. No. Alright, next one we're going to open up is Scryfall. There we go. For the advanced card search. And then we'll look up our commander on EDHREC to see what other people are putting in the commander deck. This should be what we need to find the cards in our deck. Alright, now we're going to need some ramp for the deck. Now, if you go to the bottom of EDHREC, they should have some utility lands as well as mana artifacts. You shouldn't really worry too much about the mana artifacts you're using if you have a monocolored deck, because we don't really need to fix our mana or anything. And all the artifacts you're going to be using are pretty basic, so you don't have to worry about choosing the wrong ones in this scenario. But yeah, I'd take about 10 of them personally. Alright, the next step for making your commander deck is figuring out card draw. Now, for this commander deck, we're playing mono red, so that means that we're going to need quite a bit of card draw so that we don't burn out, or any sort of card advantage. Now, one of the best ways to actually get card advantage and card draw is looking at your commander and seeing how you can synergize with it. Looking at this commander, we can say we're going to be making a lot of red devils, so we can do aristocrat style deck, as well as we can take advantage of drawing and discarding cards. So we can also take advantage of that. One of the best ways to get card draw in your deck is to look at your commander and say, how does this fit in with the deck? Because we're going to want some kind of removal for like artifacts, enchantments, and etc. Now, one thing also to keep in mind is you don't have to use Scryfall and just EDHREC to get all of your cards. In fact, I'd recommend that you think outside the box and try to look up cards specifically. It's perfectly acceptable to go into Google and just search red artifact removal and see whatever you can find there. It's also worth mentioning not to just throw cards in the deck if you don't know the price. So if you see a card you like, then just go over to TCG and look at the card. And then you can find the price and see, hey, it's perfectly acceptable. You can also use Top Deck too, but I don't completely trust Top Deck to do price checking because it has been very flawed in the past. The next thing you're going to want to think about putting in your deck is utility. Now, because this deck in particular is a mono-red burn deck, we're not really going to worry about that too much. However, there are a few cards that we would like in here. For example, something like Swiftfoot Boots to protect the commander. If your deck is ever focused on your commander, it's always a really good idea to focus on cards that will protect them. Alright, so now we're on to the final section of the deck, which is all the fun cards and really powerful stuff we want to put in the deck. That'd be cards like this one right here. Anything that's really synergizing well with our commander and does what our commander wants to do. Now, it's worth noting that this section of the deck is probably going to be the one that you're going to want to spend the most money on, as it is the part of the deck that is the most crucial. Alright, now that your deck is done, you can look at the mana distribution and other different stats of the deck to make sure everything is right and it plays out really well. If not, then you can go back and change different cards to make it more desirable. Whenever I'm making my decks, I usually don't worry about the mana distribution too much. It usually just ends up fixing itself as you go on. Now, using Top Deck, there is also a built-in feature that you can simulate decks with. and you can see and look at different hands that you could potentially get, and then you can play with the deck and see how it would play out, just to make sure everything is good and feels right. Now, you can also go into the actions, and you can actually, share. You can go to share, and you can actually download the deck as well, save it as text, PDF, really anything, using this application here. Thank you all for watching this on how to make your own commander decks. If you like, comment, subscribe. I don't even care, man. Good. Yeah, great.